recording. Welcome to DJ's Reviews. He's Darian, and I'm James.
Should that actually be an intro?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Is that okay?
We'll find out.
Okay, cool. Well, welcome. This is DJ's Reviews. We review books, and we are not DJs.
We are not DJs. Certifiably.
No.
Not
I do
DJs.
like music.
Music good. Music good. What's your favorite genre?
My favorite genre?
Yes.
It goes back and forth. I was raised on classic rock, and I love classic rock. It has a special place in my heart. 70s and 80s hair bands in particular. But I think if I had to pick a favorite genre, it would either be somewhere along like that indie folk kind of line. Like
Yeah.
I think somewhere in between, I guess, Judah and the Lion and Gregory Alan Musikoff.
Okay.
Or more classic country, because I love a good story.
That's fair. I can agree with almost all of that. I am definitely big into like indie folk. That is one of my favorite genres right now. Been on this one band called Kingfisher. They're like Irish folk with a little bit of rock in there. Pretty fun. Pretty fun.
You've shown me a couple of their songs. They seem right up my alley.
They're so good.
I just keep forgetting to add them to my playlist.
Good. So good. Oh my gosh. Big fan. Big fan. If they're ever in America, I will pay money to go see them. But we'll see if that ever happens.
Okay, but on to the book. Again, I said it before. I'll say it again. Marriage.
Yes. If you're joining us again, then you know that last episode was Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney, the spoiler-free edition.
Yes, because we would piss off a lot of people by throwing spoilers in the first episode.
Yes.
That's not a good idea. And we want you to come back. We want you to watch that spoiler-free, get that review, see if it's something that might interest you, just from the sound of things, and then go get a read. Even if it doesn't interest you, go give it a read. Even if it just looks pretty, go get a read. Read books.
Read books.
They're fun.
They're so good.
Audiobooks are cool too. If you have Spotify Premium, you get like 15 hours of audiobooks, and it's on there.
Yeah. That's highly recommend. Read books. That's actually the reason we're doing this channel, because we just want to read books together.
Yeah. I get in this weird little funk where it's like I won't read a book for 2 years, literally. And then I'll just suddenly come up and be like, oh, I want to read a book. And I'll go on this little spurt. The last time this happened, it was in 2023, I think summer of 2023. And I read the entire Harry Potter series in like 6 weeks. And then carried on reading a few other books, got into the Chronicles of Narnia, got a few books into that. And then suddenly something clicked and I dropped it and I didn't touch a book for another year and a half.
Yeah.
But this is going to fix that. This is going to help with that.
Yeah, I had a huge kick in 2022, I do believe, where I think I read a grand total of like 30 Star Wars books in a year. You can't tell. I'm a nerd. But yeah, we just want to read books together. Just keep reading books because it's good for you. Yep. Speaking of books, it's Rock, Paper, Scissors. The twist blew my mind. Right?
Which one?
The twist.
You're talking about the big one?
The big one.
Which big one?
That's a fair point. Because there were so many twists in this book.
There was one of them where I thought that the freaking bunny was going to be like a little zombie baby. And whenever she was like leaving out the food bowl and she was like, company is company.
Yeah, I felt that. I'm like,
I was like, what is
what does she
that?
have down there with her?
What is in the shack? I legitimately thought it was like like I said, some type of little zombie baby, just like.
Yeah, I'm like, what sort of hideous fiend does she keep with her? The first twist that I absolutely got wrong. Um, so book about Adam and Amelia Wright going on a vacation together to save their marriage. Right? And the first thing, and I'll go into this a little bit too, because it
Did
the
we mention first of all that Adam has face blindness?
no, we probably should mention that, shouldn't we?
Yeah, Adam doesn't know his wife's face.
He yeah, he can't see faces. Like it was really odd, and I think it was a great description, like him talking about how it looks like a Van Gogh painting.
Yeah, and like things just swirling around and just.
Yeah. Yeah, that was first off, that is a crazy twist. My first thing was like, oh, so someone's going to get murdered and he's going to see it.
Well, that's another thing throughout the whole book. She keeps pointing it out from different characters' perspectives. I don't think, if this doesn't go well, one of us isn't coming back. If this doesn't go
Yeah.
well, one of us isn't coming back. I know what's gonna happen, and she's not coming back. And then you got Robin over here being like, "I don't think one of them's gonna come back." I mean, good grief, someone's
Yeah.
gonna die. If someone's not gonna die, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we find out towards the end of the book that Amelia was just talking about divorce.
Yeah,
But
that was wild.
I think she might
I
have wanted to
hope.
murder him regardless.
I want to know what he was talking about. What was he talking
I
about? Because he did, spoilers, try to kill her.
well, he didn't try to kill her. I don't really actually remember the reason why he cut the power.
I I don't think it was stated. Which is,
No,
if you watched
I
our
don't think it
previous
was. Like
review,
he shut her in the crypt and he shut the power to
yeah,
the generator.
yep, I think he was
Amelia.
actually trying to kill her.
Amelia.
That was creepy, man. That was so creepy.
Amelia. And then the callback at the end of the book, Sam.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I want to know what he did afterward. Should we be following like a timeline order in this? Because I'm just like,
Okay, yeah, we probably should. So,
okay, go ahead, start.
book starts with them driving to the cabin, and the tension is so thick. She left his phone purposely at home because she was like, I don't want him to work while we're taking a vacation. Fair enough. But she would lie about it. I don't want to go point by point, but that's where the book starts. And you just get a good feel, right, for how estranged these two characters are who supposedly have been married for like 10 years. I say supposedly, and we all know why.
Infidelity.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely explores a topic of like healing in a way. But man, this book was rough.
You're just saying that because they had a dog.
The dog was probably the best character in the series.
Or what was her name that worked at the grocery store? Is it Patty? Is that what it was?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah,
She's a pretty great character.
She's pretty great.
Yeah, she's pretty
She
great.
just freaked out by this one shriveled old lady.
She wasn't old. She just had gray hair.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. Oh, the first twist that really got me. I was like,
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. One more.
yes.
Honorable mention for best character in the book, October.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, she was so great.
I think October might have been like
Oh,
the best character, as in if you want to talk about like morality, I think that October was probably the best character in the book.
yeah. It was so sad to what happened to her.
For the longest time until all that was revealed, I really thought that whenever,
Yeah.
and I think she was leading this
Hmm.
up, but I thought that, whenever Adam was saying that he slept with someone that he shouldn't have, he slept with October.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, and then coming up and, setting up seeing the letters R. O'Brien, we know we've been reading like Robin's perspective this whole time. So I thought it's Robin October for, the whole
Yeah.
5 pages before it was said that she died.
Hmm. I honestly
And
didn't
yeah,
believe it. I didn't believe it.
no, I didn't either.
But of course, my
I didn't either.
first thing is denial. Gotta deny it all.
A river in Egypt.
Yeah, denial. Yeah. Okay. Throughout the book, we switch point of view characters. There's Adam, Amelia. We eventually get Robin, which freaked me out when that happened. I was like, whoa. And we get a letter that Adam's wife had written for him every year of their marriage. So we get
Now, a real quick preface for this as well. We know that the reason why she was writing this is because she thought it was a cute idea from his screenplay that never got made.
Yes. Yes, his screenplay, Rock, Paper, Scissors. uh that was wild. But the first twist, finally there. That the one that I was like, oh my gosh, no way. I think it was revealed in like one of the first letters, one of the first 2 letters or something. Where she mentions that she went to his favorite writer, favorite author, and made him agree to take on him as like to let him adapt his novels into screenplays, because like this guy is like famously just like not to let anyone do any
Mhm.
screenplays. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh my gosh, she slept with him.
yeah,
That
exactly. Same thing.
what?
Like
No.
she kept going through every letter and saying, "I can't let him know that I'm the reason why Henry let him do this."
Yeah.
And then it's like, "I slept with someone I shouldn't have."
Yeah. It
Whenever
mentioned
it's
that.
back on, well, it wasn't in the letter. It was on
Oh, you're
it
right.
was Amelia, I think, that was saying it. Amelia was saying that she slept with someone that she shouldn't have, and Robin in the letters was talking about the relationship with Henry and everything. So you put that together, and you're like, she slept with Henry, and then you find out Robin's his daughter, and you're like, she slept with her dad.
She slept with her dad. No. No.
She slept with her dad.
Yeah. That was a
Oh
huge,
no.
huge twist. Because like the
Yeah, they're not
face.
even close to they're not even close to Alabama. I'm sorry, anybody in Alabama, I love you.
Yeah, it's true. They're not even in Alabama. Um, yeah.
But they do have beans on toast.
Sorry. Oh, yeah, it was wild. Every twist had me like second guessing everything. Yeah.
I would also like to point out real quick, I love all the little details, all of the little intricacies and such
Hmm.
that Alice Feeney threw into this book. Just the little things that add a little bit of humanity to the characters and to the situation. One of my favorites was "Call Me Pamela." So
Yeah. Yeah. Them
it's those
talking
it's
about
those
their
little notes that make those relationships.
yeah. She did a really good job with the characters, I feel.
Mhm. It's
You
funny. I
know.
was just thinking about this. I was just thinking about that in particular yesterday. We were watching Goblet of Fire.
Hmm.
Is a little unrelated,
Yeah.
but whenever Sirius has the letter sent to Harry, and he says, can't use Hedwig, da 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 da, da, and at the very end he ends it with "P.S. The owl bites." Just that little nugget of detail, just adding to
Yeah.
that character relationship. I love that. I think it adds so much depth whenever you have those little important, those little seemingly unimportant details.
Hmm. Yeah, that's true. And then like this is just jumping in right now, but like the dog goes missing, right? That was a truly terrifying part of the book because no one wants to see a dog get hurt.
The best main character,
The
Bob.
best main character, Bob.
Bob. Yeah, and then it makes sense later whenever you think back to the note on the
Yeah.
door. Please, no dogs in the bedroom. I wonder why no dogs in the bedroom. Is it because it'd be so much harder for you to get up there and dog nap Bob?
Yeah. And it's
Did
not
she
even
really
dog
even dog
napping.
nap him? I
It's
mean,
not even
it's her
dog
dog.
napping.
She probably just walked up there and went, "Here, boy."
Yeah. I was like, why is Bob just going away and not making any noise? And when his owners are calling for him, it's because his owner had him. Alice Feeney did a good job with making
Oh, she
most
did a killer
things
job.
make sense by the end, right?
She did a killer job.
With like you being like, how did this happen, or why was that case? And then at the end, you're like, oh my gosh, it makes sense now. Just the reveal that Robin was Adam's wife was insane. Like that literally
But the way
blew
she
my mind.
revealed it, the way she revealed it was so good. I mean, she's sitting there and looking at the
The
they
painting,
come back up.
yeah,
They come back up and they see the paintings are
picture.
there now, and they see the pictures and like his wedding picture, and she's like, "That's not me in the wedding picture."
That's his first wife, and you're like, what? What do you mean? Yeah, that was crazy. I had to like
Yeah,
reread that.
and then all of a sudden all the letters make sense because there's one thing I noticed while we were going through the letters, and it's that this book was set in 2020. We
Mm-hmm.
see on the headstone that Henry Winter died in 2018, I
Yeah,
think it was, which was 2 years prior, and the letters, the dates on the letters, the years never matched up. So you got to the 9th anniversary and it was still 2 years from the 10th.
yeah. You're like, whoa, what's going on here? What's going on here?
So I think that's what it was. It was like 2 years off the entire time.
For me, the thing that didn't make sense was the sign off at the end. It was just like it always said, "Your loving wife."
Well, it
XX.
was. I don't know if you noticed, but it was progressively getting more and more distant.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
started out with like your love, and then by the end of it, it was like. I mean, the last one, aside from the last one, was your ex-wife. But
yeah,
at the end of it, it finally was just like your wife. Not even like I don't think it even had like X's and O's or anything.
yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
even have like a love or anything. It was just your wife.
Yeah. I think I loved seeing their story progress through the letters,
Mhm.
right? Like getting the background through letters that she had written for him that she was never going to let him read. That was such a cool narrative point. I enjoyed that a lot. The
I feel
dog
the need to
doesn't
read off
die.
some of my notes. I'm sorry, I feel the need to read off some of my notes that I have here just
Feel
because
free.
I don't know what I was thinking when I wrote these.
Oh no.
No, it's just the way that I wrote them. I mean, they walk into the chapel. I wrote set the scene. Ooh, a wall of mirrors. Or like they want wine, go into the crypt. He's like, "Wow, it's musty down here."
Yeah. Dude, that crypt was creepy.
And then Robin is watching Ooga Booga. I have a whole section here where it's just he's closing doors to keep something out. Amelia is sus. He knew where the broom was. Amelia is sus. And then later on, it's like Adam is sus.
Adam was sus.
They were both sus. No, I thought that Adam had lived there before at one
Yeah.
point. Yeah, because he knew where the broom was. He knew where the generator and stuff was. It seemed like he was recognizing things, and then you get the pictures of October being there and some other stuff. I thought that at one point that he had lived there.
And
So
then the spot where it's him skipping the steps that creak.
yeah,
Like,
it
what?
makes sense.
Yeah.
So I mean, they pointed out that he picked up on those little details really easily. Um, but still, it was sus. I mean, even Robin said something, didn't she?
That seems
I'm
likely.
pretty sure it even said something about Robin wondering how he knew where to skip the steps.
I mean, I guess when you can't see details of face, you pick up on other details, maybe? Who
Yeah,
knows?
I guess so. It makes sense.
Oh,
You
seems
lose
like a
one sense,
pretty
it heightens the others.
pretty observant person. The reasons I rated it as a 6 out of 10, right? The big twist of Robin being his first wife blew my mind, right? Absolutely floored me for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went, well, now why are Adam and Amelia so bad for each other? I didn't catch that.
So what he points out, and I think it's all really summed. I think it's summed up really well whenever he first meets Amelia and Robin asks what he thinks. And
Mm,
you remember what his response was?
she's an actor.
She's an actress because she's lying because she's doing everything that she can to be desired by him.
Yeah.
She's not real. And he knows that she's lying, and he was never really he even says it at the end of the book. He says that he was, never really loved her. It was lust in
Mm,
love's clothing.
yeah. You're right.
And it also makes sense because, she did everything that she could to make her look like his wife as well.
Yeah, that was so creepy.
So,
That was so creepy. I
she
almost,
dressed herself like his wife, she changed her hair like his wife, and then, she did everything she could to get like super fit and like try to be as hot as she could
yeah,
for him.
yeah.
So,
I almost wanted to believe him when Robbins found them in bed together. I almost wanted to believe him when he said, I thought she was you.
no, I did too. I did too.
But then just the little detail of like, oh, your face always turns red when you're lying, and your face was so bright, or
Yeah.
whatever the line was. I'm like, oh, wow, dang.
Yeah. No, I in the same boat. He got played,
He did.
but he also, you know, he was definitely at fault as well.
Yeah, absolutely agree. That's why my favorite character is Bob. Bob did nothing wrong.
What about Sam?
Ooh, Sam. Sam was an odd fellow, but I just get that feeling from, like private investigator. They're just like paid stalkers. Oh, so Sam was hired by the father,
By
um,
Henry.
by Henry Winter, to just keep an eye on his daughter and keep an eye on Adam. And I do like how she tied like every loose end by the end of the story pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Was like, oh, Sam still stalks them or investigates them, I will say, since that's the proper term.
Well, he
And
still thinks Henry's alive.
yeah, and then he finds Henry's grave,
Yeah,
and
after tripping over another buried body.
yeah, which is Amelia. What?
One thing I was wondering is were they trying to frame Henry? Like, were they trying to put that on him? Because like changing the father to killer of one.
Yeah,
Is that what they were doing? Because the thing is like, Sam, he could tell that that was a freshly buried body. Like, he's not stupid. Like, he could tell that that was fresh. He points it out.
yeah,
So it's like you see the grave there for Henry, and it's like he died 2 years ago, and this is a fresh burial right beside it. I mean, what do you think this is?
yeah.
Also, as a PI, he would have recognized that ring and the paper crane.
That's true.
He knew these things.
I just had a thought of like something we hadn't even touched on yet. And then it just left me. Editors, you'll have to cut to the spot where we know what we're talking about.
Premise.
Yes, I got it.
Okay.
His mother.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've got that written right here. I was thinking about it. One of my notes for that is that she'd always wear a red kimono when she had friends over, and her friends made sounds.
Sounds.
Well, that's what my notes say. It's like the long face, the long flat face in my notes is just sounds.
Yes.
Like, what kind of sounds did they make?
Sounds. Throughout the story, we got the like hints of like Adam's PTSD sort of things, you know? Like just the nightmares, him not being able to sleep. It's probably why he's such a workaholic. Is like he just couldn't ever forgive himself for something. And it always is pointing at the fact that he saw who killed his mother. And he could never identify them. And we get to know at the end that it was Amelia.
Well, actually,
Adam.
There's even another twist after that. Whenever he says that it was Adam, Adam is the one who hit his mother with the car. Amelia influenced him into stealing the car, and probably made him make sounds. And
definitely, he definitely made some sounds.
Yeah, they made some sounds. They were like 12 years old.
They were like 12. That was sorry. Don't like.
She influenced him into stealing the car, and she influenced him into being like, go faster, go faster, go faster. And then his mother's crossing the street in that red kimono going with her friend.
It's a dog. It was the dog.
Well, yeah, she was walking the dog, but still red kimono. That means a friend's coming over.
She had, yeah. Oh, man.
So, and that was not Bob.
That was not Bob. Different dog.
If you haven't gathered, that was not Bob. That was
Bob.
like 20 years before this.
Yeah, he was
12.
And I think they're like...
Actually, that would have been... I think they're like
almost
40.
30. Like, probably 30
I think they're about 40.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. Man, that was such a fun plot line to follow throughout the book. Of, like, him not knowing or not wanting to remember what happened with his mom.
Mm-hmm. And again, she did such a good job of like adding in these little details and then throwing on like referencing these little details later in different places to, redirect. Like one of the examples was in the dream, Adam vividly remembers like, the bright red lipstick as well on his mom. And then cut to later in the book after that's revealed, Robin putting on her bright red lipstick and stating that the last time she had this on, she got hurt. I was like, is that his mom?
Yeah, that was a crazy one too. And like you could see like she's described as like having gray hair and like you kind of get a sense that she's old.
Yeah, but then she says just because you have gray hair doesn't make you old.
Yeah. Yeah. So many fun twists.
And then they thought she was a witch. Points.
Oh yeah, that was a fun little sprinkle it in there. Like
they saw the pamphlet and everything and talked about like I think it was like the witchcraft history and like hauntings and stuff, trying to scare people off. Henry's propaganda to keep people away.
Such an anti-social man.
But then you take that and then you go up to this abandoned shack, somebody's inside, you go around back and you see in the window, there's some chick holding like a little, a bunny surrounded by candles, like a freaking sacrifice. Man, she's a witch.
Were the candles ever really talking about besides that?
I mean,
that was a bunch of
but from the sound of it, I think that she lived with candlelight.
Yeah. Probably.
I don't think she had like actual lighting in that house or like power per se. I think she just lived by candlelight.
Yeah, so many candles. That was so creepy. Her place was creepy. She creeped me out until she didn't.
I do think it's also it was a little frustrating to me at first whenever she would talk in the letters about how she would see Henry around, like see him at these parties, see him in the restaurants and everything, and he would be looking for him, looking for, according to her, for him,
Mm-hmm.
but more so probably looking for her. Um, and she would purposefully
Not say anything.
avoid him or not say anything to Adam. That was so frustrating to me at first. It seemed almost like a, like jealousy in a way. Like
It
she was
did.
jealous of him because Adam was obsessed with him and giving all his time to his work and everything and not to her.
Hmm.
But, it makes sense when it's your estranged,
Father.
arguably, like, I don't know if you can say abusive father, but neglectful, um,
I,
likely abusive to her mother from her experience. But
yeah. And maybe the killer of one was actually
oh,
them
that's right,
talking
because
about their
she thought
mother.
that he killed her mother.
Yeah. Which
Yeah,
he
she was.
probably did.
Yeah, Robin was convinced that he killed her mother. Okay, so yeah, so killer of one makes more sense with that. I forgot about that tidbit. Thank you.
Yeah. I just forgot about it until then. There were so many things going on in this book. Very fun read. Would recommend.
Unless you're afraid of sheep.
That was so scary. Oh my gosh. Oh man. That little scene where it's like ends a chapter with like you could see eyes everywhere outside. And then it's the next chapter and they're like
watching you.
and then it's just sheep. Just a bunch of sheep. You're like, what? Oh, okay. All right, fine. Nothing terrifying going on here yet. Any
Yep.
last thoughts?
Um. I guess the last thing that I'll say is this is not the kind of relationship that should be a model for anybody.
No.
um,
No, please do not
they
romanticize this.
no it's like one part I'll say about this. It was very. It seemed like she was just, I don't know, trying to help their relationship or something. I don't know what you want to call it, but they made it a point to basically say that they had sex in every room in the house. Um, but it's later revealed that the reason why Amelia orchestrated this, because she did intentionally orchestrate that, was because she wanted to basically replace Robin. She wanted
Yeah.
to replace any thoughts of Robin. She wanted to rid that house of Robin. It was like her way of, I guess, exercising her memory.
Yeah.
So, and then I think there's a point made at the end of the book whenever they move back into London that they move stuff around, they replace things and get rid of old furniture and that kind of thing because they're erasing Amelia.
I think they did a
There's a
pretty
lot
good
of
job
tit
of
for
that.
tat.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of tit for tat.
I would say secrets in a marriage are not good. That was one of the killers in this book, was just all the secrets.
It's really hard to have a healthy relationship when you can't trust each other. And one of the points that Adam makes as well is how could he ever have trusted Amelia to begin with? And he never fully trusted her because she came in and she effectively took him away
Yeah.
from his marriage.
Yeah. Wrecked
Like she,
wrecked the good
I
thing.
think the way that he worded it was that she slept with her best friend's husband.
Yeah, it was very odd. Don't like it.
No,
You should trust your
I,
significant other.
I don't think anybody would like it. Yep. We're not here to give marriage advice, though. You should probably see a counselor or a pastor about that.
Yeah. Definitely not certified DJs. Definitely not certified therapists.
No. And neither of us are married yet.
Not yet. Getting there. Getting there. We're just
Well,
two guys that like books.
We're vibing with some books. I don't think we're gonna need to spin the wheel again in this episode. Again, the intention is that you would, watch that spoiler-free episode first. If you already had read the book and you just jumped straight into this, we'll go ahead and let you know we have a wheel that we spin at the end of that spoiler-free episode. So if you want to go back and check that out, cool. If you don't, I'll go ahead and tell you what it is. If you don't want to hear it and you want to watch the wheel spin, just cut right here. But the next book that we're going to be reading, if you join us in a month, is going to be A Study in Scarlet
by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
And I am so excited. I love Sherlock Holmes.
I am so excited about this as well. All right, guys. Catch you in the next one.
Yeah. Y'all have a great evening or morning or whatever it is for you while you're watching this.
Yeah. See you in the next one, guys. Bye.
My mother